Hey, it's Jeff.
Beyond, it's Greg!
And we're here to talk about Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker for the PSP. Obviously, this is the sequel to the popular Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops that came out. Kind of the interesting thing that we're seeing in the background as we're talking is kind of the elements that are leading up to the formation of Outer Heaven, as well as kind of the sequences that are going on post Portable Ops. So just to do a quick rewind to get back to some of the more salient points that are being shown at the beginning. Not only are you getting this sense of the kind of the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, some of these other things that are going on.
Nuclear war, never been talked about in Metal Gear before. Well, it's interesting. I mean, you and I are both big Metal Gear nuts, you know, and for people who are a fan of the mythos, it's kind of that really gray area right here of what happened to Big Boss. I mean, he's this hero, you know, he's this all-American soldier, he's really in it for the good guys or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like when we originally got introduced to him, he was a bad guy. Snake had to fight him.
Right. So here's actually the first sequences of gameplay that you actually see of Peace Walker, and you get a sense that, you know, just to go back quickly, it's 1974, it's set in Costa Rica, which is a little bit close to the San Jeronimo Peninsula from the first Portable Ops. And as the trailer talks about, somehow this government doesn't have an army, and you know, it's kind of out there on its own. And because of what's going on post-Cuban Missile Crisis and everything else, there's no deterrence. So when some army comes in, starts to take over, they need help. They need somebody. And of course, who do they call in?
Snake.
Right. Big Boss himself, this is the first time you actually see a shot of Big Boss in Peace Walker. Obviously, he's in a completely different place, Colombia, but as the trailer goes on, you see that this is his army, kind of the recruits that he got from the first Portable Ops.
Hopefully these are the, you know, guys you went through and picked up all those times through, you know, your Wi-Fi-ness and all that jazz.
Exactly. And they're just training, doing full-on training missions on the beach. And
they all have their patches. Look, right there.
This is true.
Right.
So you can tell that they're definitely in Big Boss's army. And just coming up in a few seconds, not only is this kind of a slogan probably of Big Boss's army and eventually Outer Heaven, you know, armies without borders, kind of that sense of going anywhere in the world, solving other problems, handling things. But you also get an idea that, you know, maybe some of these people, like, maybe this is Campbell, and he's got his face hidden. Maybe it's Johnny Sasaki.
You're making
maybe
that
somebody
reference,
else.
obviously. He's walking ahead of everybody here. He's one of the trainers,
Yeah,
it looks like.
He's obviously training people, so we don't exactly know who it is. And then, just to go back quickly, this is really key, because before, we never saw Big Boss with this scar. This is exactly a reference back to the boss from Snake Eater, where she had that scar, obviously from, you know, some complications, but maybe he's doing it in homage to the boss herself in kind of that climactic battle. So here you see Big Boss running through a couple different environments. You see him on the beach. A few seconds you're going to see him in the jungle. And another few seconds you're going to see him making his way through a compound, which has a couple different levels to it now. In the first Portable Ops, it was a little bit more condensed, and now you've got obviously a couple different levels, a lot more dense structures going on.
The environments look really good from what we're seeing. They look different, which is very refreshing. I mean, you know, Portable Ops, as great as it was, it did seem a lot of times like, all right, I'm crawling underneath a door, and now I'm just inside this compound. I'm doing all stuff around boxes.
The exact same thing too, but here it's almost like a shantytown thing, like a lot of corrugated iron, stuff like that, and different suits for Snake too. I mean, you could tell that he's got kind of different camo and different armor even. And this, and I'm going to pause it right here, this seems to be really, really key, because this looks like it's a new way of recruiting people. In the first Portable Ops, you'd incapacitate them by either knocking them out with CQC or tranquilizer darts, and then carry them to a truck. But now, it looks like you're using the Fulton recovery system from the first game to just kind of airlift them out to maybe Campbell's floating airship or something.
Obviously ripped off from The Dark Knight.
That's true. I think he needs residuals.
Whoa, what's that?
Whoa. So here we go. This is kind of important in a couple ways too, because it looks like Snake's using
Snake camo,
Yeah. And before in Portable Ops, there'd just be kind of the gecko that would pop up in the top left corner of the screen, but now it looks like he's using camo and environment to get around people, knock them out.
It looks like suits are going to be real important. I mean, this orange suit he's wearing right here, when we were back at the corrugated steel, it was really hard. I mean, at first for me, when I was watching this trailer at E3, to see him pop up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And the other part is that, like, it looks like he's got body armor on versus, like, you know, some of these other things like this. What is this?
Snakes?
2 snakes? It looks like they're completely different suits of armor and camo.
4 snakes?
Obviously, there's going to be a lot of co-op, and considering that we're starting to get glimpses of the Metal Gear that you could be fighting.
You need friends to
you're definitely going to need a lot of help. But just in this shot, take a quick look at this. You've got 4 separate snakes, 4 separate camos, 4 completely different, like, configurations, obviously based on whatever the player is.
It's very interesting to see how this is going to go. I mean, especially knowing so little about it. I hate that part of it right now, where we can just only hypothesize on what you're going to see, but it should be interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, even with some of that, there's obviously going to be some tricks up Kojima's sleeve. For instance, this section, I mean, it's the obligatory surprise guard and cardboard box. But just to quickly pause, the box isn't just cardboard box A or cardboard box B.
This is the love pack,
The
Jeff.
love pack. Now, obviously, Snake is a man that does get the ladies every now and then, but the interesting thing about the love pack is that it looks like you can get more than one person inside the love pack, as we're seeing right now.
He's always had a way with the ladies, but now he's going to have a way with the men that are also him.
If the boxes are rocking, don't come a knocking, Greg. Just take off, man.
Okay. That's good advice.
I'm just saying.
In 2010, I'll take you up on it.
You might have to.
Climb in the box.
Hey, that's a plan. If you need more information, make sure you go to IGN.com for more Metal Gear
Beyond.